moves in front of Sauter, and that caution is out. Fluid on the track and some heavy fire inside the 20 truck, and Thorson wasting no time getting out of that. Well, and you can see his disappointment and the anger, I think, coming from underneath the helmet of Tanner Thorson for his night to be finished.
I think it was just a reaction. We saw the 13 of Myatt Snyder get a little bit loose. Thorson just moved up just to give him a little bit more room. Let's take another look at it. This is already after the 13 had gotten loose. Thorson had committed to the top side and ran out of racetrack.
Yeah, and it just happened so quickly, Phil. These trucks are running over 175 miles an hour, and when one of them gets sideways, your first reaction is to dodge him, to go somewhere where he isn't.
We're in our window. If the caution flag were to come out now,
oh, around! It's Gilliland. Got hooked on that right rear.
Well, there's that caution window we were talking about.
Jesse Little was on the outside.
Little was there, and it's tough to tell. We'll have to look on the replay. Did Little come down, or did Gilliland move up?
We'll watch the replay and make that call, Vince, but it looked like just two guys racing hard for a position. I can't imagine Little would have come down, but you come through the tri-oval, the front straightaway, you've got to move around a little bit to make the turn.
A lot of damage to that JBL Tundra. Looks like Jesse was just trying to follow the tire tracks of Friesen, and I'm not sure that Todd really knew he was there trying to get in that hole right behind Friesen.
That certainly wasn't anything intentional. I think Jesse Little was just drafting behind Friesen. You can see there Gilliland came up just a bit. And fortunately for Little, he didn't get any more damage than he did, but unfortunately, Gilliland's night will be over.
Well, Todd Gilliland was running in that 6th spot. Up ahead is the incident. The view from Cody Coughlin's truck.
Coughlin does a nice job there not getting into the back of Haley. As Haley rode off the gas, they were able to both slip by.
Boy, a frustrating outing for Todd Gilliland. They have been, as many of the nights have been, or the races have been for this team,
have the fresher tires.
It's like Friesen just got loose there.
He sure did. Underneath the 88, see the 98, that's when he got into the outside wall.
What a great job by Grant Enfinger squeezing through that small hole. Watch this driving by the 98 on the outside.
Got into the 88 of Crafton just a little bit there on the left rear.
Can't even see where he's going. Squeezes in that hole. Man.
Well, I tell you, for Stuart Friesen, that could have been disaster considering his position in the playoffs. He was able to gather that up fairly well, all things considered.
Look at that mess up ahead that Cody Coughlin's looking. How do you decide which way to go? Does a nice job of getting it woed down and missing those two.
And a lot of help from his spotter, Terry Cook.
He was up on that pit box.
Oh, and now it's Stuart Friesen doing a little yard work.
Be careful. Don't let that splitter dig in.
Friesen just lost it again. It's running back there just inside the top 20.
Yeah, a lot of damage to that truck, though. It's certainly affected the aerodynamics, Vince.
And really, Friesen, I mean, he's gone around a couple of times. There's Corey Roper in that 04. We saw the damage that truck had on the left front. Here's what happened.
Oh, problem for the 51 truck of Brandon Jones trying to get to pit road, and Roper just didn't know the 51 was slowing down and got into the back of him.
And it was going to be an unscheduled pit stop for the 51 of Brandon Jones. The outside of Johnny Sauter.
It's Moffitt and Crafton. Contact between Enfinger and Sauter, and around goes Cody Coughlin. And the caution is out.
You said we hadn't wrecked yet on a restart, Phil. Now we have.
So Moffitt and Crafton, and then it was Enfinger and Sauter that got into one another, and eventually there's some contact involving Cody Coughlin. He couldn't save it.
What a save by Johnny Sauter. He tried to squeeze into a hole that I don't think was there, but because of that bold, aggressive move, squeezing in there, he's running in the 4th position, still with a chance to win this race. Watch Sauter, he just tries to get right up in front of Enfinger. There's not room to do so. They make contact, and it just stacks up the field. Then a big shove from John Hunter Nemechek in the back of the 2 truck of Cody Coughlin, and that turned him around.
Cody makes contact with the inside wall. You can see right there.
Heavy damage to that 2 truck of Coughlin.
That's a shame. Cody had been really competitive all night long. Didn't do anything wrong here. Just over-aggression by John Hunter Nemechek, hitting him in the back here.
The caution is out, and that means it's going to set up another overtime restart when we come back. In second, and Justin Haley slipped into the 3rd spot and around again. Caution, a bigger one this time. Timothy Peters involved. Austin Hill in the 0-2. Jesse Little, the 97. Well, that's a shame. Little was having a good night. They did not get to the line to get the white flag, so we're going to line them up and restart it again.
Or look at the damage on Nemechek's
big hit from John Hunter, who had a good night up until this point. Wow.
So Timothy Peters get turned around and get a lot of damage.
They started wrecking on the back straightaway. It just finally all came together exiting turn 4.
You know, we made the comment, as you see the 938 of TJ Bell, that Ben Rhodes earlier today in the media center made the comment that Vegas is like Talladega, the West, and because the draft is so big, and we're starting to see that with all the wrecks here now.
Exactly.
Yeah, and we said at the start of the show the track was hot. There wouldn't be as much of a pack, but anytime you wind it down and cool the temperatures off and put these guys all together for these restarts, it's just too tempting to go 4 wide, and 4 wide just hasn't worked tonight.
There's John Hunter walking away from his damaged truck.
A lot of frustration. Peters around and in. I think maybe got a little help to start with.
Yeah, get some damage with the 3 truck.
Look at Crafton squeezing inside of Rhodes, and there's Peters sideways.
You can see the green lights right now.
And there's the yellow before the leader. Moffitt gets to the line, so what's the indicator that we're going to miles away, Winston, Georgia, and our first caution of the day for the 12 of Tanner Thorson.
There's the break Brett Moffitt needed to get right back into the championship battle. He was the...
So we can see the issue there for Thorson.
Like he might have blown a tire. It's hard to say. He was...
Good job keeping it off the wall. Former star from the USAC ranks. Has run 6 races this season before today's event here at Talladega.
Yeah, it's hard to tell right there, but you know that has all the signs of a left rear tire going down. You see some damage on the left side of the truck, so it might have had a little cut.
Big trouble.
Oh, and there goes Fontaine. Contact and around. Crafton involved, Rhodes involved, Parker Kligerman, John Hunter Nemechek, Bo Lamastus, Johnny Sauter back there. Was it? Disaster for Matt Crafton and Ben Rhodes. A couple of championship hopefuls, and look at the debris. It started at the front with that truck, Fontaine. A little bit of contact got him sideways of Fontaine.
I think this is where it starts. He's up high and goes to the bottom, and Haley was there.
Watch this 75 truck, Michael. I mean, he's in the wreck right here, and he comes down the racetrack and
no brakes, obviously.
Hit again.
Oh.
And those are the ones that they all hurt. But when you start getting hit a second and third time, that's when it really starts to catch you off guard.
Fontaine to the middle of the track, and Haley was already committed there. There's just nowhere that Haley could have gone. Bam.
Double figure trucks involved in this one.
You can see both Haley trying to get lower and Fontaine lower. And the result was carnage.
And that's what we were talking about earlier. You know, you saw the 47 truck come down right there to block. Haley had already committed to, you know, and was way lower. And, you know, from where the spotters are, that's a really tough angle to tell the driver, you know, you're clear, you're clear, you're clear. And it'd be interesting to hear his radio as to what his spotter was telling him at that particular time.
Well, we had been talking earlier about it seemed like we were so close to having the big one, but everyone had been able to keep it gathered up. Not this time. 10 different trucks involved. Watch out the back of the 98 of Infinger, who was leading at the time.
Both of you clear. You're clear now. He's not. Crash behind you. Just roll on through here. The entire field's in it.
Big hit for Crafton.
Look at Todd Gilliland slipping through, and Myatt Schneider. Good job by those guys. Austin Hill. But unbelievable contact.
From the view of Noah Gregson.
Back it down, back it down, back it down. They're going to hit it. They're going to come back to the flag. Get on the apron. Clear, lower, get lower. All right, keep coming through here.
I love the job Gregson did there.
Martin went took it to victory lane. Oh, contact, and around goes Todd Gilliland.
Hold your brake there. You okay, Todd?
And a big hit for the 4. Was running second.
Just let him come get you. He's done.
Crew Chief Marcus Richmond. Watch what happened.
There's the bump. Trying to get to the inside.
Yeah, and a lot of times what happens right there, you know, you saw him get the 98 truck up, and as he came up and hit him with the right front, it just takes, you just lose control of your truck, and it shoots it to the left. So he got in the back bumper of him, and that's what we were talking about earlier. When you're offset to the left like that, it makes that truck in front of you loose when you get into the left rear quarter panel. And then he got under him, and Infinger just came down and hit that right front and just shot it to the left. Man, that's a big hit.
A lot of times, Kevin, we watch these wrecks, and having done this for 100 years, you say that was definitely one driver or the other's fault. But that just looked almost like hard racing for the lead. Look how much that truck crumbles in the front. The wall moves. The safer barrier does its job.
Yeah, and I think that situation right there is I think Todd just, you know, trying to get up there and bump draft on the 98 truck of Infinger. It's like he was trying to hit him, but like you can't be offset to the left right there. And as you come up off the corner, you just want to be able to get right on that back bumper and push him forward. But that is a big hit, and thank goodness those safer barriers are there.
Watch it from the view of Infinger out the back.
Have out back.
Oh, and around goes Infinger. Looked like Gilliland got in the backside of the 98.
Hang on to it.
25 of Peters. And Gregson goes around.
And we're wrecking.
And they're wrecking at Talladega.
And Peters was ahead when we saw that caution.
Timothy Peters, a 2-time winner at Talladega. There between Peters and the 24 of Justin Haley, and then eventually into the back end of the 18. And Timothy Peters wins for the 11th time in his career.
Had some good momentum to the back of Gregson and just hit him off center, and around went the 18.
And it just doesn't take much, and you could just feel, you know, the energy building as we got there towards those last couple laps, really last 6 or 7 laps there, and these guys just all started pushing and shoving, and you see Peters go up there, and Gregson went to block him. I mean, he was trying to win the race and wound up getting himself crashed, but there's no fault of his. I mean, he was doing what he had to do to try to win, and he had to block.
Watch it from the onboard of that 18 truck.
4, don't let them split you. Keep it pink. Lane up. Quarter lane up. Keep it pink. Keep it pink. And get it rolling here when we can.
See, the red is out as qualifying is underway here at Martinsville. The 49 of DJ Kennington, and there sits the 38 of Landon Huffman. They had a little contact and saw some left front damage on the 49 as it pulled away. Let's see what happened. Oh, Huffman was way up, and Kennington had nowhere to go there.
Yeah, I hope it didn't hit the left front tire on that 38. Oh, pretty solid shot. It looks like it was going to hit that left front tire, and Landon is one of those guys that has to make it into the top 27 position when they get to the end of the second stage.
And here's why we are under caution. The 33 of Chad Finley over in turn 3.
All by himself. Sometimes you get that axle hop going on. I didn't quite see that, but definitely easy to be loose on entry if you jump on the brakes too hard.
After the 98 of Benfinger. Ooh, problems for the 52. Looks like it's a flat left front tire. Left rear tire looks like.
Oh, yeah.
Indeed, it's the left rear. He was running 11th. Caution is out. Caution out for the second time today because of an incident. Chad Finley involved in a single truck incident earlier.
He's not going to get it refired in time. He's going to go a lap down. He did a really good job to keep it off the wall and not have damage, and then the yellow came out, but man, he's going to lose a lap here.
Of course, Stuart
trying to restart it.
So listen.
2 right top, 3 right top, 2 right top, 2 right top.
From that angle, it's tough to tell. Maybe somebody got into his left rear.
It's possible, but we know it's flat now. Got down to it, had no air in it when he got down to turn 1.
Kurt, staying on this as well. Trouble on the racetrack. Caution, caution.
On the front stretch, it's the 83 of Dawson Cram. Watch the 83 of Cram there as Friesen tried to squeeze underneath him. The contact, and the 83 of Cram goes around.
Let's do say that Stuart Friesen is back on the lead lap. He took the wave around at the end of stage 2 to get back.
Maybe because his tires weren't ready.
Well, look at all the
chain
trucks
reaction
getting
back.
stacked up.
It's horrible. Christian Eckes didn't go on the restart. Somehow Enfinger gets turned around. The 99 of Purdy, Chase Purdy, gets turned around.
Could have been much more collateral damage than